Hi, this is Poster Girl. Welcome to Beyond Bandwives. These episodes are about independent, trailblazing women who are creative, self-assured, and community-minded. Ladies that are inspiring, intelligent, and have learned to take control of their own destiny. They are beautiful and bold, both inside and out, and are the very women I hope to emulate. We have a little twist on the Bandwives for this episode. We are going beyond the Bandwives, and no one fits that bill better than my very first Beyond Bandwives guest, Miss Angela Bryant Franklin. I want to welcome you today.
Yay,
so she is the lady, the mastermind, the brains behind the amazing space that is Indigo here in Shelby. So welcome Angela.
Thank you. I'm honored that you even asked me to kind of sit and talk with you. It's very sweet and kind. Thank you.
Thank you. So why don't you tell everyone just a little bit about you? Are you from Shelby? Did you start off in some other little part of the world and make your way to Shelby? So tell us just a little bit about you.
I am actually from Morehead City, the coast of North Carolina.
Okay.
My whole family still lives there. I'm the only one that's kind of moved away. In fact, they all live there in what my husband calls the compound. So like when my grandmother was still living, when anyone had leftovers, especially my grandmother, she would always make food. She'd get in her golf cart and drive it to someone's houses, or anyone's houses, whoever. And we'd always know we'd have if we didn't make dinner, we had leftovers. So everyone's still, my brothers, my cousins, everyone just kind of in a little area there
right there in Morehead
City. And I got married.
Okay.
And followed him around, and we had 3 children.
Yeah.
And
God, you have 3. Okay, I didn't realize you had 3. Okay.
Yeah. And my youngest one is 25 years old.
Yeah.
And I came here to Shelby, didn't even know what Shelby was.
Okay.
My husband at the time, my children's dad, got a job at Gaston College.
Okay.
But he wanted to live in the middle of nowhere, so we were living in Kaiser.
Oh, yeah.
And I was 2 weeks away from delivering when we moved to Kaiser in a house we bought that I had never seen before. I didn't even know how to get to the doctor. And we moved in. 2 weeks later, it was my oldest son's first day at kindergarten, Union Elementary.
Yeah.
And I knew how to get to the school.
Yeah.
And I was in that little circle line, and I went into labor.
Oh, my gosh.
On my oldest child's first day of kindergarten. And I was so embarrassed. I didn't know a soul because my car was overheating because it was so hot. It was in August.
Okay.
So anyway, I called the right people, and we got to the hospital, and I had Elena. So I always think of me being here 25 years because I came here 2 weeks before she was born.
And what's her name?
Elena.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I haven't left. I love it. I'm not married to that person anymore. He's gone to Indonesia and travels around and does all kind of. He's just an adventurer. And I remarried someone that actually was getting a divorce at the same time as me.
Oh yeah.
And I like him a whole lot, and we've been married 13 years, and never imagined that we'd doing what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Never. Because he was is still a physician at the hospital, and I was a nurse at the hospital.
Okay.
And we were just friends.
I think that you were a registered nurse. Yeah.
So fast forward, I would never imagine that we were doing this event space.
This big adventure.
Never.
Yeah. So are you still? Do you still?
I have my license still as a nurse, but I do this full time.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm sure this is a big full time job.
I do. I absolutely love it. I still have a passion, and I try to really participate in any of the things going on. Kind of fundraisers or any of that, especially at the Cancer Center.
Yes. Well, one of my most favorite things.
Yes.
So I've been to a few events here. I have not had the pleasure of being to a wedding here yet. I've seen some of the pictures, which are phenomenal. But one of my favorite things being here was the drag show.
Was that not
that y'all did last April?
That was
It was
fun.
so much fun, and it was to benefit the Cancer Center here in Cleveland County, and it was such a fun little twist on something that you just don't normally see and that you don't normally get to experience here. And they were amazing performers.
And it was so well received in Shelby.
Yeah,
I was worried that I would offend someone or someone would get upset by it, but everyone just had a good time with it. It
seemed like
it was good. It was fun.
It was. So tell me, and we won't spend a whole lot of time on Indigo, but I would like for you to just talk a little bit about Indigo and the Steeples Club, and how did you even end up, like, from physician and nurse at the hospital and whatnot to being the innovator and the visionary for this? And I know we're talking as podcast, so people can't see it, but this is a really old building that I don't even know how long it's been in Shelby, and you guys came in and have made it into this amazing space, event space for all different things, but yet maintain the integrity of the history of it. So how did you end up here?
We were living at a house on the lake, and I was going to work as a nurse, and he was working, and the kids were just doing their thing, and they're growing up. They're all kind of doing their thing, and they're out of the house. And I've always had a fascination with architecture anyway.
Okay.
And I was just kind of looking. I didn't want to just, live in a regular old house and just go to work and wait to retire. I just felt like I had energy, and I've always liked to redo things.
Okay.
I redid a house in Cherryville, this really old house on Main Street in Cherryville when my kids were little. And I just would look up stuff and learn about where the wall was being held up by the beam. And then I would I'm tearing that wall down, and I'd tear the wall down. I was okay with trying stuff out.
Okay.
I always enjoyed that. And then when we saw this building, I really thought we were just going to redo it for condos, an investment property. Yeah. But I walked in and I fell in love with the building. And all the tin ceilings completely intact. It's I learned about it, and it made me fall in love with it more. And that's how it all started, is with this building. I've had this love affair with this building. It's a 1928 Campbell's department store is what it started out originally. And it was at the height of when, there was a one place that a lot of families went. They could buy caskets, horseshoes, Easter dresses, that kind of
You
place.
get everything there.
And it was ran by one family for the longest time, and they took such good care of it. And I think he died in the late 1950s in a car accident, and it didn't last much longer. And then it was tried to be a few things, and it was just sitting here when I saw it, just vacant. And I just begged my husband to buy it. Honestly, that is how it all happened. We did not know what we were going to do with it. I think we thought
you just knew you had to do something.
Yes. Yeah. And then when we had the architect up and they said we could do the rooftop, he said, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
But I think the original was, I was thinking of this an ongoing, I could paint this, I could do this. I could just do a lot of things, an ongoing art project.
Yeah.
Anyway, I still am doing a lot of art projects on it.
I know people aren't seeing anything, but just the whole atmosphere that you've kind of created here is very welcoming and very warm. Out of this building and what's here, what is your favorite part of it?
I love making it a magical place. And when people come in, they just I feel like that they can just, they're surprised. What? I didn't even know this was here. Because it's you don't know it's even on the corner until you come up in it. And then it's I don't know, people just kind of get into the cool vibe of just maybe letting their worries down and just hanging out. And I love that.
Okay.
I love that. That gives me a lot of happiness. And even though we intended on it being maybe some condos or something like that, and then when we realized it could be this big space for all these parties, I get the biggest kick out of people coming and having their weddings here.
Yeah.
And that's what they remember. It's taking pictures, and it's they're going to remember this place.
They are.
It's it's making good memories here. I love that.
Making memories.
It makes me very happy just to see it was a good day, it was a good night. They had some good times here. Because you know what? When I used to be a nurse at a hospice and in the ICU and at the cancer center, I'm not sure why. It was my nurturing side always, I just gravitated. Because you really see who people really are when they're sick.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you do.
And
their families.
Exactly. You get to see people, the nitty gritty. And this is like the opposite of that, like where I've
really
seen
is.
so many people die, but I've seen people like almost like them making the memories. So at the end,
Yeah.
maybe they're thinking about the good times. Oh, I remember when so and so got married
Angela.
together.
Oh, I love that.
I know,
That
it's like
gives
a
me
flip
chills.
on it. Yeah,
It is.
So I really look at it like that because it's like I really got into a dark place after seeing so much death. And
I can't. I mean,
yeah.
I have a great deal of respect for all of the healthcare, all of you and the healthcare workers that are there for people, because I know you guys have a heart for it, and being there has to be. I mean, it's of course you're there for the person, but it's got to be taxing on you too.
You can either build up a wall and then you don't even feel it.
Yeah.
And I felt when I was actually really right getting there.
Yeah.
Then I don't know. My life kind of switched, and I really needed to do this full time. And I love it. I think it was meant to happen like this. It's like I'm filling in some negativity maybe from what I felt was like just a really darkness in my life, if that makes sense. And now,
well, and I mean, you said it. You're helping people create memories, oftentimes at the very beginning of their, at least of their adult life.
Yeah.
But the very beginning of their lives. That maybe that in those twilight moments they'll be thinking about that and the beautiful place that they shared their love.
I hope so. I do. I hope so.
So besides I know this is your big pet project, so do you have any other causes or pet projects that you sort of think, all right, I want to talk about, or just are close to your heart? And I really want, especially other women, to see how we can connect with each other and just how deep we really are, and be able to share those moments and those passions with each other. So
I think the biggest passionate thing in my whole life is really my children.
yeah,
But then they grow up and they don't need you as much. So I've been thankful that I can put that energy, kind
Into
of
this, baby.
in this.
Yeah.
But I'm still really trying to learn like we were talking over there in a casual way, like I'm trying to learn how to be a mother to adult children.
Yes,
like
it
I
is
don't
different.
Really, like that younger child I was telling you about is now married.
Yeah.
And I just want to call her and I'm like, I need to back off.
Yeah, no.
I need to back off. And there's no rule book. Like I don't even know the rules, because then one child I back off and then she's like, well, why haven't you called me? And then it's like, so I'm just trying to really learn my
place with them.
My place is being a mother of adult children.
Yeah.
And being a grandmother.
Yeah.
So
how many kids?
two.
Grandkids?
My oldest child, Duncan, and his wife Alyssa.
Yeah.
Duncan, used to
he
run
used to
this
work
place.
here with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he's now doing that in LA at another venue.
I didn't realize he was in
Amazing.
LA. Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And they're really happy. And
That's
they're
great.
fun. And I miss them like crazy.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I was almost over protective over the grandchildren, and then when they left I realized it's not my place. That's not my place. And so
Sometimes the
finding my
distance
place
helps you kind of put it all in perspective. Yeah, so
I really like to be behind the scenes here.
Oh, do you? Okay, but you're such a great ambassador and hostess. I can imagine you in the background.
And when you see this face, it's genuine. And when I come out, but then it's like I hit a wall.
Yeah.
And then it's because I'm not a natural extrovert.
Oh, interesting.
I really am more of an introvert, but I do enjoy.
Yeah.
But then I'm like,
okay.
Yeah.
Gotta back off a little bit.
Yeah. But those are my two happinesses in my life. And my husband. I do love him.
Yeah.
I love him.
So what kind of doctor is he?
He's the kind that puts you to sleep and then wakes you back
He's
up.
the anesthesiologist.
Anesthesiologist,
Okay. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So, alrighty. Well, earlier when we were chatting before we started this conversation, you were asking him to do something about the mail for you, and I thought it was so sweet the way that I have a man who is just as accommodating to me sometimes, and when I say, oh, I forgot to do something, can you do this? And he does it. He always does it with a joyful spirit,
right?
Probably more joyful than when I do things.
Yeah,
but it was really
I'm
sweet.
thankful for that. That's not always been the case in my life.
Yeah, well,
so
I'm glad
I'm
that you
thankful
have
for
that too.
that.
Yes, absolutely. So when you're not spending your time here, Angela, I want you to tell me what you do for fun.
Wow. See, I consider being when I'm here fixing the floors and doing the painting fun. That's my fun. I always got a project. And I love going somewhere with my kids. And I really like cooking.
Okay.
I'm kind of a homebody, honestly.
Okay.
I do like to go hiking when it's really cold.
Yeah. Oh, when it's really cold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm scared of snakes in the summer.
I can
I've seen
understand
a lot,
that.
almost stepped on some.
Yeah.
I've had some weird experiences and I hate them. So winter
Yes,
hiking
in
is my
cold
most
they are
favorite.
not out.
I should have more activities, shouldn't I? I have to work on that.
You are a very busy lady. So, so do you still live in the Kaiser area?
No.
Do you live,
We moved from Kaiser to Cherville, and that's the house that I redid.
Okay.
And then that's kind of where that whole marriage broke up.
Yeah.
And went kaput. And it was a horrible thing.
Yeah.
And I don't wish that on anyone, but I'm better for it. You know?
I
really
totally
am.
understand.
Yeah, sometimes you learn really hard lessons in a really hard way. And then I married Cliff, and we lived at the lake, and then we moved from the lake here.
Okay. So I always have to ask this because it does sort of tie it a little bit in with the music thing.
Love music.
So tell me,
Good
what's your
question.
favorite music?
I don't know if most people are like this, but I have moods. Do you have moods?
Yes, very much.
Like it all depends on moods. But
Yes.
I always, I love Kings of Leon.
Okay.
I'm really into
Yeah.
El King. I'm in love right now with Chris Stapleton. Some of his music, his soulful music.
Yeah.
I think she's a little drunk.
Yeah.
Nora Jones. I
Yeah.
love her. Her soulful voice.
I know. Her voice is like
Yeah.
pure goodness.
It is. And you know what? That is one of the most favorite things that I have enjoyed about the Steeple City Club here.
Yeah.
Is doing that music part. I have met so many amazing local artists.
Yeah.
And then in the surrounding area, we're getting ready to do something. I'll have to tell you about this later.
Okay.
Talking about, but we're doing this poetry and music where it's actually local songwriters
Really?
who write their own music.
Okay.
Like truly their own songs. Because all musicians, even those who do covers, they have their own songs.
Yeah, they usually do.
They don't whip them out. It's something maybe intimate.
Yeah.
And very, like they can sing something that's, written somewhere,
Everybody,
but something
yeah.
that they wrote. It's interesting to see how people, but we're going to try to do that.
So you're going to do that through the Steeple City Club?
Mhm.
Yeah.
More of a more intimate, like someone who actually wrote those tunes.
Okay.
Wrote those lyrics. So I'm excited about that.
That's really cool because it's almost like a poetry reading, but you're doing it with music.
And the reason this all came about, this is perfect with
Yes.
you guys. There are so many amazing musicians here who sometimes have to go out of our town to really be able to perform and earn a living for what they really deserve. And so a couple of those that were in one of those bands come to us and said, let's kind of do this thing where we set it up and then we have like some of these musicians who have, like maybe it's the bass guitarist, but he has his own little song he wrote.
Right.
Because he is a musician.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I love this. So they're orchestrating,
cool.
organizing it. I'm going to provide space and just let them do their magic.
Okay.
So
that's really cool. So is that something you're going to start
at the new year?
At the new year. So that is very nice.
Yeah.
And so since we are talking about it, because I've talked about Indigo a little bit, but a part of Indigo is your Steeple City Club, which is a super cool little place and club for anybody who wants to join. And you've got events and things, and you did a Halloween party not too long ago. So I wanted to come, but we were out of town.
It was a busy weekend. This time of year is so busy.
I know it is.
Yeah.
But then you always do your Wednesday and Thursday events. So it gives people like just the general public a chance to see and be a part of this kind of really cool little event space.
Yeah.
Who maybe aren't coming to weddings as much or something. So.
Well, it's like we have these weddings, but it's mostly people from Spartanburg, Asheville,
really?
Charlotte, Florida, because we're so close to the airport. People look us up, and so we have so many weddings where they're from all over the country, like Chicago, and they all meet here. They spread out in hotels, and they get married here.
God, that's awesome.
So I'm like, I thought this was going to be a place where I could really see like members of our community.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened.
Yes.
A lot of less wedding. We're not having as many weddings now, so that's why we're filling. I was like, I want to see the people that down at the store that I see, but let's have them come here and have a drink. So that's where the whole Steeple City Club concept came from. Let's open it up to our own community, have some drinks, have some pop-up chefs.
Yeah. Yes, you've had some. I've been here a few times, and you've had some really, really good. Of course, now your chowder tonight is awesome. But you've also had some really good local chefs and things come in. So, and then of course the bands and things. So Kings of Leon.
I love them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you ever seen them in concert?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many times?
Just once.
Just the once? Okay. Has it been a while?
Magic. It was. It was before COVID. It was in Charlotte.
Okay.
One of the, I don't know, someone at the hospital couldn't go.
Yeah.
And they knew I loved it, and so they went and found Cliff out.
Oh.
I think she was a pharmacist at the hospital.
Really?
And said, I can't go to this concert. It's
Was
on
it
this
Lori?
day. Yes, it was Lori. And I was like, you are, and she will forever be like a hero in my eyes. We had the best seats.
I think that's
I danced
awesome.
my butt off. I broke my shoe. I could hardly get back. My husband, he didn't even know really about King Leon.
Yeah.
Kings of Leon.
Yeah.
But afterwards, he was like,
Okay, I can go for that. Yeah. Oh, those are the best, like, impromptu things that you aren't expecting, and it's like, oh, okay, I get to go, and then they turn out to be the best things ever.
It was. Music is like medicine.
So
it really
It
is.
is. It is.
It makes you just.
And it, like you said earlier, that you take it by mood, because I do too. Mm-hmm. Like, what is my mood for the day? Do I just need to let loose and just be loud and obnoxious?
Lady Gaga's good for that.
Yes, it is.
And then when I'm really in my chill moods, Cat Stevens. I love him.
Yeah.
That's soulful. Maybe a little bit of a cry.
His voice is.
It is. It's so,
Oh, I like him too. So very cool. All right.
Cheers.
So if you could,
Yes,
cheers to you. Yes, definitely. So what is your drink of choice?
I have drink phases I go through, but the past year I've been in a vodka tonic phase.
Okay.
The tiles in the bathroom downstairs, I was in a vodka cranberry phase.
Okay.
Many vodka cranberries. It's like I could have a cocktail and know I could complete 2 tiles, and that was what I did after I'd get off work. But
So you went down and you did all the tile work down there?
Well, all those tiles in the bathroom, I had this idea.
Okay.
I'm a jacklegger.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I love these tiles, but they were literally $240 a tile in Charlotte. And I was like, and my daughter-in-law at the time, Melissa, who lives in LA, was doing this pour art with acrylics. And I was like, teach me how to do that.
Yeah.
And then we started practicing it on wood planks. So those tiles in the bathroom are actually wood planks that we cut down.
Wow.
And I had a big stack of them. I did them all. I was not even sure it was going to work. The tile guy came. I took the day off from work. And I said, okay, this is what I'm thinking. Let's tile them just like they were real tile. And we did. And we grouted them. And they've been going well ever since. So,
Angela, I'm amazed.
I can make something work. If
You
it ain't going to
can.
work,
It
might
figure
not
it
be
out.
all the right ingredients or exactly right, but
Well, it doesn't matter what the ingredients are if it works.
yeah, I'll try it. Yeah. Well, my husband is so funny. He has to have everything, all the right parts. We have to go to Lowe's 3 or 4 times for a project.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, buddy, I'm gonna make this
You
work.
improvise.
Yeah, that's a woman's skill. I'm learning.
Sometimes it is.
It is. My mom could hang anything on a wall in a minute, but my dad have to have the whole thing planned out,
Does it
taped
have to
off.
have like a little thing so that it's the leveler thing, so it's all level?
Right, yeah. She'd be like aiming for the stud, damn it, and then go a little bit and just hang the picture and hide the hole in the wall where they missed the stud. I learned from
Listen,
her.
the pictures hide a lot.
Exactly. Fix that later.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So that's great. I love it. I love it. So you have mentioned a little bit about going all over, and then when you left Morehead City, and then going all over before you made it back to Cleveland County. So do you do a lot of traveling?
Before we bought this building, every year Cliff and I, on our vacation, we choose a city, and we go in the middle of the city. We've gone to Seattle and Boston. We didn't really know where we just chose the very middle of the city and got a hotel, and we would just venture out and eat the food and walk and just enjoy. But you know what? Our time has been, like, really, this has been our, I feel like this is like our kid that we had together.
It is.
Yeah.
Very much.
I hope to do a little more traveling. I asked him what city we want to go to next, but he didn't say.
He hasn't said?
Not
so
yet.
Which one do you want to go to next?
I kind of want to go to the wine area of California.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
one of those
wine country.
bicycle
Oh,
tours,
man.
where they take your stuff from one place to the next,
Yes.
but then you ride your bicycle
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
vineyards. I want to do that.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be good. I hope we get to do that. So
I hope so.
you have some great help.
Yes, I
Crystal
do.
is pretty awesome here, so
Yeah,
I know
I
you
do.
can trust her with things. So.
Yeah. We're going to do it. It's like getting your head around traveling again,
Yeah.
with COVID and
I know it was
and
weird.
all.
It really
It's
was
almost like we
weird.
just tucked our head down and didn't do it. But I'm thinking
Yeah.
about it. What
Good.
city would you go to?
Well, I would go out of the country. If I could go anywhere, I would go to Italy. That's
a good
my
choice.
dream place to
Yeah.
go to. But beyond that, anywhere that has a beach.
Okay.
I'm a beach girl through
Yeah.
and through. So we've been to. I have been lucky enough to go to Maui once in our life. But I mean, it's just beautiful and amazing, and so. But I also think that the Eastern Coast
Yeah.
beaches are great
Yeah.
too. So.
Variety. It's
Yes.
what makes it all so great.
It does. It really does. So tell me, if you could go back and tell Angela something, 15-year-old Angela, what would you tell her? What do you want her to know?
That is such a good question. To be brave and do what I want. And
Okay.
it's okay not to please everybody else.
Oh man, I know.
That's the coolest thing about getting to be an older lady is you just don't care
No.
as much. No, I don't care at all.
Yeah.
Truly. I never want to hurt anyone's feelings, but don't you
No.
think that's kind of a cool thing as a woman to get older?
It
Don't
is.
care.
Or just being brave enough to. So there's my favorite quote in the whole world is from John Acuff, and it is to be brave enough to be bad at something new. And it is,
To try.
just embrace,
Yeah.
embrace that, and not fear it.
Yeah.
Big thing.
Yeah.
So
I love
yeah.
it. Yep.
Yeah.
Being brave to just do it. If you're
Yeah.
going to fall, you may fall several
know.
times before you succeed, but it's better than not trying.
It is. It always is. Not trying is definitely batting zero.
Yeah. And it's so easy to get just status quo. Just keep
It is.
doing and yeah.
So, well, I have one of the reasons that because you're the first person, as I said earlier, that I've talked to that's been outside the band wives arena, but you probably were the very first person that I thought about whenever I decided to branch out, because I do respect a lot of what you've done here, and just the fact that you're such a trailblazer, and I hope that everybody sees that in you, and
We'll have to collaborate.
so yes,
Yeah.
we will.
It'd be fun. I bet band wives and lovers, I bet they got some juicy stories. Especially wives and lovers who have band members, because they really do go off out. And
Yeah,
my husband being a physician,
yeah.
kind of the same thing. Women throw themselves at
Oh, I
them.
bet they do. Oh, I bet they do. Yeah.
And band members, that happens.
It
just
can
because
happen.
sometimes you sing this beautiful song and it just lulls that woman.
It's like an
whoa.
aphrodisiac.
Yeah, they're so much sexier than if you see them just doing their normal job, but they're singing.
There's a reason that Mick Jagger is still considered a sexy man.
Yes, it's definitely the singing. But yeah, so you gotta be kind of a strong lady when you're dating someone like that.
You do. But even no matter what your relationship status is or anything with anybody, I mean, not just musicians, but one of the things I've learned is that just over time and knowing and understanding whoever your mate is or whatever that is, that part of them is part. That's what makes you love them.
Yeah,
Even more. So,
That's right.
But
it's being real about it.
it is. It is. And there's nothing better than finding finding that mate that lets us as women that's not intimidated by that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I celebrate that too.
As an older woman, you realize, so this is juicy.
Okay.
I've thought about this a lot.
Okay.
You can always erase
We can edit
that.
anything. Yeah.
So we're just talking as girlfriends. But
Yeah.
it is when you get a little bit older and you realize we're attracted to other people. You know, the whole soulmate thing that, you know,
Yeah.
you do, that's something that's built,
Yeah.
I think. You
It
know,
is.
and the friendship and, you know, the trust that you built. But I remember being a younger woman and going, oh my God, he's attracted to someone else. And that is just a damn fucking reality. It is.
It is.
It's a reality.
It can
We're
be, yeah.
humans and we're attracted to other people
It
at
is.
different times. Doesn't mean we do anything about that, but it's just a realization that's
Life.
true. It's
is.
just real.
It
Yeah.
is. So-
And being okay with that.
Yeah.
Because we know we certainly see things that we're attracted to
Yes,
too.
we
It goes
do.
both ways.
It does.
And it's just being real with that.
And that's part of the sexy part of it is, and I mean, I'm sure because you're now empty nester kind of thing too, but that's part of like discovering all that part, those kinds of things about
Yeah.
each other and what.
Yeah, you hadn't even had
which-
time maybe to think about
Exactly.
that in the past, but now you're
Exactly.
like, okay.
You
Yeah,
know.
and it's not it's a good thing.
But yes, that has been a very fun part for Chris and I.
Yeah.
In terms of being on our own again, and
Yeah.
I
Being
do
real
like
with
that.
it,
And-
nitty gritty, and it makes it deeper.
it does.
It's a
it
deeper
does.
kinda-
It really does.
Yeah.
And being honest about that, and that is one of the things that I've kind of written about a little bit, or just thought in terms of I don't understand why people or why women have had to historically why our sexuality has been cut off. So that's one of the things, and with everything that I've done, and then in bringing other women in on this podcast and things, that it's like I want women to be free. I want people to be free about who you are and what you want to be and how you want to live your life and
Because we only get one go
experience
at
yourself.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. You don't want to
And
spend
have a good
time on the
time
stuff
at
that
it.
is fake and don't matter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It is something having daughters.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. You want them to be really safe and
You do.
good and all the good things happen, but you don't want them to miss out on anything
No.
either. And, yeah.
So
They're savvy.
they are savy.
They're savvy,
They're
though.
very savvy. And way more savvy than I was at
And
my
brave.
daughter's age.
I agree.
So,
Yeah, mine certainly are.
and I do think, all of my kids really, I'm very happy that you be who you want to be and what you want to be. And, that's what they're so far ahead of the game. I do think that this generation, our kids' generation, is better at that than we ever were. So it's certainly at that age.
They ask questions I didn't even know was a question to
I know.
ask. Like I didn't even know that was a choice for me. Yeah. So it's interesting. I feel like it's a whole different world for them. Everything's on the phone. Being able to look up something in an instant and finding
Yes,
out
you
who
do.
someone
You
is.
do.
Yeah. But
Or finding out anything.
all of it. Yeah. It's a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
So
We talk every once in a while, so if you have a question about how it is nice to be able to go on the internet and find some kind of answer to things that you want to say, okay, is this good? Is this not good? Should we do this? Should we not do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
but they're free to be anything and everything they want to be and change their mind.
yeah.
Change their job, not have to just get a house and live in it and get married and the whole thing.
That's
Yeah.
2.5 kids.
Yeah.
But I think that you have really lived that too, in terms of being able to say, here's how I'm reinventing myself. You reinvented yourself. From you still have the nursing spirit, I can tell, but reinventing yourself into your new baby here. That's really brave. That's inspiring.
Thank you for saying
do
that. Sometimes I think, gosh, what have I done? What have I gotten myself into? But I did it all knowing it is scary, but sometimes you just do it anyway.
Well, you call me
Just
anytime
do it.
that you feel like that.
Yeah.
And I'll listen to you. And if you want me to say something, I will.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that it's okay.
You
are brave.
I love that.
And courageous.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's what friends do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got this. Put your, yeah.
Either that or just, if you just need me to listen to whatever you need to say for the moment, I can do that too.
Yeah. It's good to know.
So tell me, what's your guilty pleasure?
McDonald's.
McDonald's?
I love McDonald's. My kids
love it.
would die if they knew. But every now and again, I love to go to the McDonald's drive-thru and get a Coke, a Big Mac, and French fries.
Okay. Yeah.
And it all in that order.
Just savor that from
yes, that's my favorite.
all the thing. Okay. That's a great guilty pleasure. Yeah.
Me too.
Do you like that too? Okay.
Those are my guilty pleasures. Maybe that first and then McDonald's.
The second,
then it's just so much better.
So does it just relax you for the day, I guess? And, So,
Well,
I mean, I really think it is sad that it's not,
especially here.
that it's so outlawed.
Yeah, and frowned upon.
Yes.
But, you know, I really did too. I had those thoughts about it as well until I was working at this cancer center, and people get depressed.
Yeah.
And people have terrible appetites.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes that is the only thing that really worked for them.
There you
The
go.
only thing that worked for them, for their mood, for their appetite, for just kind of, you know, having a new perspective. So I'm all about it. I think there's a lot more medicine in it. I think God put it on our earth for a reason.
Oh, I do
and it's
too.
amazing and sad and ridiculous that it's illegal.
It is. I
There's
agree with you
magic
completely.
in it. Yeah,
There is.
there's magic in it.
And I do believe that there's a lot of things out here that I think it can work very well with our current healthcare system and all of that. But I think there's a lot of stuff out there that is very natural. And
Yeah, there's a whole lot of. I'm really big into natural medicine.
are you? Yeah. So
It's got a lot more good in it than negative. We should hang out.
We should.
I really do think we
Yes.
should hang out.
Even without this going on.
Yeah, especially.
Especially.
Yeah,
So,
I think we could get along really well.
well, why don't we do this then? Angela, I'm going to say thank you for your candor. Actually, I should ask you first, is there anything else that you would like for people to know about the lovely and beautiful Angela Franklin?
Oh, you're so sweet. I'm just really honored that you even wanted to interview me. I feel like I don't have anything juicy or interesting to say, but we all have.
Interesting.
Like, I am such a cheerleader of people who are trying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, and that's
Very
to
good.
you, sister.
Thank you,
You're
baby.
making some good things happen.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So
So
this was
good to
great.
just get connected with you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to Beyond Bandwives. Look for our next episode. Until then, this is Poster Girl wishing you a beautiful, badass life.